And right now, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romaine Bostick alongside Katie Greifeld taking you through to that closing bell with the global simulcast. We're joined now by Massar and Tim Stenovec in the radio booth. Welcome to our audiences across all of our Bloomberg platforms, including our partnership with YouTube. We got a lot to unpack here, guys, so light your incense sage, hide the kids. Massar, what do you make here of the sell-off today?
What do I make of the sell-off today? It's kind of these narratives that have been kicking around for the last couple of weeks, right? Concern about the AI spend and build out. I also think the Fed speak has been a little conflicting. And, speaking of that, you guys, I'm sure, were just breaking these headlines from the Wall Street Journal, that the president's leaning towards.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin.
It's a Kevin, right?
It's definitely a Kevin.
Yeah. It's definitely a Kevin. It's definitely a Kevin. Well, it is definitely a Kevin as far as we know now.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, why wouldn't it not be now?
Well, we all thought it was Kevin Hassett a few weeks ago.
Is
and
it Kevin McAllister, maybe?
I'm just saying.
I like it. That's a Home Alone reference to everybody out
Thanks,
there.
Tim.
Children of the 80s.
I'm just saying we're going to know when the
real
president ultimately makes a decision and says it publicly.
I was just looking at Polymarket because these odds are moving in real time. And just 10 minutes ago, even after the Wall Street Journal story broke, Kevin Hassett was still at 66%. Now Kevin Hassett's down to 56%. Kevin Warsh up to 39% odds. The odds moving just in the last few minutes after this Wall Street Journal story crossed.
Yeah, I want to know what the liquidity looks like in that market.
Volume's $39.9 million.
Okay. I don't know whether or not that's a lot. It's cool to have that stat.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little distracted.
Are you placing your bet?
Well, no, I went on to Google here to look up the most famous fictional Kevins in the world. Kevin McAllister does rank up number one. Kevin Dominion is number two, in case you cared one way or the other. We don't need to go through the rest of the list. Let's get you the closing bells here in New York, which not only includes clapping and cheering, but actually confetti there at the NASDAQ, and I'm not sure why, but all of the major indices are in the red on the day, and it looks like mostly for the week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is going to lose about 0.5% on the day. The S&P 500 down a full percentage point, about 73 points. The NASDAQ Composite, that's your main laggard, down about 1.7%. The NASDAQ 100 down about 1.9%, and the Russell 2000 also pulling back healthily on the day, down about 1.5%.
Also Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years.
Yes.
And Kevin Malone, The Office. Did you say that one?
No, I didn't, but I used to love the Wonder Years. Winnie?
Yeah.
I have a crush on
I know. Who didn't, right? Yeah. S&P 500, guys, almost an even split. 221 names to the upside, Katie. 281 to the downside, one unchanged.
The Wonder Years is also a great band. But let's talk about the circle in front of us. You can see a real mixed bag here when it comes to the sector performance amid this sell-off. 5 managing to finish in the green, 6 in the red. In terms of what did do well today, consumer staples up top, higher by about 0.9%. Certainly a defensive tilt there. Meanwhile, you take a look at what didn't perform, and you guessed it, it's tech, down 2.9% as a sector. Energy and communication services also certainly hurting today, Carol.
Yeah, the SOX alone was down, I think, more than 5% in today's session. So you definitely saw that playing out. Thank you, Broadcom.
It was 5.1% if we were going to be specific.
Okay,
worst day since October 10th.
I am done. Let's get to some of the individual gainers, if we may, on this Friday. Lululemon, guys, check it out. Top gainer in the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100, finishing the day with a gain of about 9.6% off its highs, but still nonetheless outperformance there. The shares rallying after the company boosted its full-year outlook, announced its CEO would step down. So as we know, we were breaking this late yesterday. The company looking for a replacement for the company's CEO, Calvin McDonald, who will depart the top post at the end of January. So nonetheless, investors enthused about what's to come next for Lululemon. Hey, also weed stocks, which have been taking a beating, kind of smoking today.
This is insane.
I know. Yeah. Check this out. Canopy Growth up 54% in today's session. That's the ADRs that trade here in the United States. Go over to Tilray. That went up about 44% in today's session. Again, backdrop is that we know that they've been beaten up a lot. So just got to kind of put that into perspective. But what the news is President Trump, or at least he's expected to direct his administration to move to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug, according to people familiar. So pushing to reclassify it as a Schedule III drug.
Yeah.
And that would be really a victory for companies and investors and patients who use medical marijuana.
Did he address the issues that were in that most recent congressional bill that would effectively get rid of like edibles and a lot of other products?
I don't know. Did he?
No.
Okay. All right, so there's more to come, right?
Is that a rhetorical question?
I don't know.
Most of my questions are rhetorical. You know.
I never know when to ignore and when to listen. All right, another group on my mind, fast food, fast casual. Check it out, guys. Let me go through a couple of different names. You have Chipotle. That one is up 3.6%. Shake Shack's up 5%. Kava was up as much as 5.6%, ending the day with a gain of just shy of 1%. Baird analyst David Tarantino seeing these companies as potential beneficiaries from the 2026 World Cup, as you know, being hosted by U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Here's what he has to say. He says the increase in tourism and broader consumer mobility activity tied to each sporting event over the 6-week period will lead to increased spending at restaurants in and around the host cities, and also provide some of these brands a
want to come and eat that American food, the fast casual that we're known for.
Just saying. Eat and go, eat and go. All right, what do you got, Tim?
All right, I got to start with shares of Oracle falling by 4.5%. This after Bloomberg's Brody Ford reported that the company has pushed back completion dates for some of the data centers it's developing for OpenAI to 2028 from 2027. This is according to people familiar with the work. The delays largely due to labor and material shortages, said the people. Oracle, a spokesperson, said in a statement that the company remained confident in its ability to meet its obligations and future expansion plans. And Carol mentioned Broadcom down 11.4%. Worst day going back to January. You know, we spoke to Ian King about this earlier. He said the numbers were fantastic. It was that sales outlook, though, for the AI market failed to meet investors' expectations. Hock Tan said the company has a backlog of $73 billion in AI product orders that will be shipped over the next 6 quarters, but warned that total margins were narrowing because of AI product sales and held off on giving an annual AI revenue forecast, saying it was a, quote, moving target. And finally, shares of Dell falling by 6.2%. This after Business Insider said the company is set to increase prices next week across its commercial product lines. Business Insider cited an internal list of upcoming price changes sent to staff on December 9th. Dell shares down by 6.2%.
All right, a quick check on yields here. It was another interesting day, but more importantly, interesting week. 2-year yields were lower on the day and on the week, but pretty much across the rest of the curve, we were higher, not just on the day, but on the week as well. In fact, 2 straight weeks now that we've seen the benchmark 10-year as well as the long bond, the 30-year, actually go up rather than down, despite some of those rate cuts.
Oh, so let's go to some stories that have caught our attention. There's a lot of stuff coming at us this week, no doubt about it. This one, though, from Netflix. Lots of malls, department stores that have either shut down and there's been some vacancies. Anyway, Netflix has been turning some of these malls and department stores into immersive playgrounds. So they've got a new permanent brand activation. They've got a movie theater and a retail outlet. It's called Netflix House. It's at the King of Prussia Mall in the Philly suburbs. And so you've got things like a Twisted festival, an escape room, a sports bar. Right?
Yeah, Netflix-themed sports bar. It's all part of an effort to extend the lives of those popular TV shows, create these experiences that are away from the screen for its fans. 2 more locations are planned to open in the U.S., Dallas, and also, you could probably guess, Las Vegas.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, it sounds like a mini theme park housed inside a mall. It makes a lot of sense why they would do something like this. I do wonder what a Netflix-themed sports bar specifically
I want to know what the Squid Game activation is.
Oh, my God. Probably terrifying.
What do you do with that?
You know, speaking of malls, I don't know if you've had a chance. You know, if you go just up here away from Bloomberg World Headquarters, it's the big Ralph Lauren flagship store here. Apparently, Ralph Lauren Christmas, the whole phrase has been trending for quite some time, a reference to, if you've ever seen the decor that they have decked out, the sort of cozy, very sort of rich, homey feel that they put on their holiday decorations, their aesthetic, if you will. Apparently it's taken off, and like I guess everything online, apparently now it's going to consume every single thing that we do this Christmas.
I really love that chart because, I mean, okay, the spike that we're seeing this year is certainly noticeable, but then you take a look, it's so consistent of a bump. Apparently every Christmas, I didn't know this, people really want to know what's going on with Ralph Lauren Christmas.
What I love about this too, and I guess Carol and Tim have no comment on this, but it gets to the idea, though too, I mean, it is very, like it's very, you know, I mean, you know, this whole, it's almost like their normal aesthetic, you know, it's not even just like the Christmas, it's just that now it's, you know, red and green, but it's just, you know, the same, a lot of flannels and patterns and, you know, big leather chairs and fireplaces.
That's what I was going to say. They have been, I feel like, selling and marketing a lifestyle for a long, long time. Their advertising has been like that for decades. And so they just kind of amp it up around Christmas. It's kind of like your home, right, Romaine?
It's kind of like...
It's cozy.
No, my home? No. My home's a mess. What's your favorite Christmas movie, Carol Massar?
Die Hard.
That's very funny.
I like it.
I have
Not a
to.
joke.
I end up watching A Christmas Story a lot. It's my husband's favorite, so I end up getting stuck watching that.
All right,
Can I
I'll
tell
answer
you,
the question
I went to
too.
Cleveland earlier this year, and
Wait.
I went to visit the
Did you?
Christmas Story house. Yeah.
The actual house, yeah. It's kind of
Christmas
classic.
Vacation is the best one.
Yeah, that's
National
good too.
Lampoons.
Elf,
Katie?
Elf should get a.
Katie, you gonna weigh in? Is it
honorable
Die
mention.
Hard?
Katie doesn't watch movies.
Not really.
Oh.
I'm more of a 20-minute TV show kind of gal, or a 6-second TikTok sounds pretty good.
I also do love Love, Actually.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I know, it's a classic.